Russian propaganda is preparing a large-scale psychological operation about the losses of the AFU. As we know, over the past week one of the most discussed topics, in addition to the Russian offensive, was the topic of Russian losses in the war against Ukraine. Losses that should shock Russian citizens with their scale. A number of foreign publications, such as the Wall Street Journal, New York Times and others noted enemy losses in the range of 200,000. The head of defense of Norway, General Eirik Kristoffersen, claimed 180,000. In my opinion, even these figures are underestimates, because the real picture is much worse. For a number of objective reasons, and based on objective calculation of figures, we can say that the total losses of the occupiers exceed 300,000 people. And this cannot but worry the Russian command, which is trying by all means to conceal its losses. Attention to these losses began to rise after Prigozhin had ruined tens of thousands of Wagnerians liquidated and wounded near Bakhmut and Soledar. At the same time, having never achieved any breakthrough result, except for arousing interest in the tactics that the Russians are fighting. The increased attention paid to the tactics of meat waves has led to the fact that in Russia itself began to ask many unnecessary questions about the real losses of Russian troops. And also, if these losses are so insignificant, why mobilization and why Bakhmut in 9 months replaced that victory cry "Take Kyiv in 3 days"? In this connection, a number of foreign media will soon publish pseudo-analytical materials, the authors of which will refer to some unnamed sources in the intelligence of this or that country, who will report colossal losses of the Ukrainian side and reduce those of the Russians. Note, by the time the video was released, this may have already happened or is starting to happen. In parallel with this stuffing, videos from Ukrainian cemeteries, where the military are buried, will be viral in the information environment. The purpose of these videos is to demoralize society as a fact, confirming the colossal losses of the AFU. Several such videos are already traveling and circulating en masse, which could indicate that the first commissioned articles on casualties will appear as soon as this week. These materials will not only be used in Russia, but throughout the entire information space. These psychological operations will have to coincide with the growing activity of Russian troops along the entire front line. The beginning of their offensive in some locations and most likely accompanied by another wave of missile strikes on the Ukrainian energy system to have the maximum effect of demoralizing the population. The corresponding emotional heating on the internet resources will be conducted by an army of bots and trolls, posing as Ukrainians and sowing panic and defeatism. Hopefully, this time the wisdom of forewarned is protected will work after all. Critical thinking, common sense and analysis of any information should prevail over emotions and primitive panic. And faith in the AFU should be a constant.